Part 39. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Dit. Chapter 381. A month passed in the blink of an eye, and it was only the last month before Yechen and Xuanhuan got engaged. Many guests have already arrived at Xiao City. The master of Xiao Palace is a super master who is comparable to the Glazed Realm. Xiao Palace is very powerful. The master of Xiao Palace only has one daughter, so there will definitely be many guests. I don't know which unlucky guy actually wants to marry Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan used to be extremely beautiful, but now she is so miserable. He is a warrior. Not all of the people who came to bless him, there were quite a few who secretly mocked him. Yechen naturally doesn't know anything about the outside world for the time being. System, sign in 3 times. Yechen said in his mind that another month was up and he could sign in again. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Immortal Crystal Dragon card. Glazed Realm. Using this card can be transformed into the host's battle pet, which has the same strength as the host. Yechen's eyes brightened. What a good thing. Yechen is more worried about Xuanhuan's strength. Although she has fully recovered now, she doesn't know when she will break through to the immortal level. Xuanhuan felt quite stressed. Afraid of becoming a burden to Yechen. This has affected her breakthrough. Xuanhuan will turn into a crystal dragon when the time comes, and his strength will be the same as him. Moreover, this card will be useful even up to the Glazed Realm and immortal level. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Eternal World Tree clone, which has the strength of the top Bana Flower realm, and can send messages to the deity through it. It consumes a lot of money and should not be used lightly. Yechen took a deep breath. Good guy, the system is very powerful today. Speaking of which, although I got some good things in the first 3 months, they were not the kind that Yechen was particularly satisfied with. System, is this Xiaoliu's clone? Yes, host. Not bad, system, you are doing great today, keep up the good work. System. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host, Xuxian 4 Swords, for upgrading to the realm of immortality. The Xuxian sword formation is most powerful and can reach the realm of Bana Flower. This reward is not bad either. It turns out that the 4 swords of Xuxian are all at the level of the Red Dust Immortal, and their union can only reach the realm of immortality. Now it's a level up. Yechen received a lot of information, and he found that the 4 swords of Xuxian could still be equipped after upgrading. However, it is impossible for him to exert the full strength of the Xuxian sword formation now. When using the Xuxian sword formation, Yechen estimated that he might barely have the strength to reach the realm of immortality, which was much stronger than his current strength. Yechen's cultivation level is still that of a human being. System, can Xiaoliu's clone be planted inside the Brahma ring instead of outside? Yechen asked. Yes, although it is just a clone, it is at the level of Higanbana and can be moved. But there will be a problem. It will be much more difficult to send messages. Whether it is sending a message to the main body to receive it, or the Eternal World Tree is sending a message, if it moves, the message transmission is likely to fail. In addition, if you, the host, encounter a sudden attack in the Brahma ring, it may not be able to sense it, and there will be no time to provide support to you. Yechen nodded slightly. In this case, it's better to just plant Xiaoliu's clone in the yard. It can be moved anyway. If you change your place of residence then, just move Xiaoliu's clone there. System, this is it. Yechen chose a good place in the yard. There was a small lake here. There are many plants around the lake. The system was planted directly, and soon it grew to a height of 3 to 4 meters. System, that's it? Does it already have the strength of the Bianhua realm? Yechen asked in his mind. The system said, host, it is a clone. It does not need to grow slowly. It does directly possess the strength of the top Higanbana realm. Its strength should currently be slightly lower than that of Palace Master Xiao. But it's not that easy for Palace Master Xiao to defeat it. If Palace Master Xiao just takes action, it should have no problem holding on for 3 to 5 days. Ye Chen nodded with satisfaction. Having such strength is already very good. The master of Xiao Palace is a peerless figure who can fight with the powerful Liulai realm masters for 3 days. The clone of Xiaolu would probably be able to withstand an ordinary strong man in the glazed body realm for a while. Yan'er, I'll give you a good thing. Ye Chen entered the Brahma ring. Shang Guanyan was in a daze. Shang Guanyan still has no idea about breaking through to the immortal level. The 9-star heavenly level breaks through to the immortal level, which is a big threshold. You must know that even the lowest level of the Red Dust Immortal is still an immortal level powerhouse. As long as he does not die unexpectedly, he can coexist and die with the universe. The universe can exist for a long, long time. Immortal level experts can be said to have gained eternal life. Since there are such great benefits, it can be imagined that it is not easy to take this step out. Ye Chen stepped out easily. On the one hand, his conditions in all aspects were excellent. On the other hand, he didn't need to practice by himself at all. He was hanging up. When practicing while idle, he has always practiced in the most perfect way. The influence of mood does not exist at all for Ye Chen. Master, what is it? Shang Guanyanzhen smiled and said that she was actually quite anxious in her heart, but she didn't show it. She didn't want Ye Chen to worry too much. System, use the Immortal Crystal Dragon card on Yan'er. Ye Chen ordered in his mind. The next second, a ray of white light entered Shang Guanyan's body, and the Immortal Crystal Dragon card began to bind. It was okay for Shang Guanyan to refuse at this time. But of course she wouldn't refuse. Soon the Immortal Crystal Dragon card was successfully bound. Master, that's great. Shang Guanyan was so surprised that her entire body instantly transformed into a chaotic crystal dragon dozens of meters long. This kind of crystal dragon was born in chaos and is naturally powerful. The adult chaos crystal dragon directly possesses a glass body and has top immortal level strength. Boom! A powerful aura erupted from Shang Guanyan's body. The intensity of this breath has reached the realm of immortality. When Ye Chen uses the Xuxian sword formation, his strongest strength is the realm of immortality. Master, you are so strong. I feel 100 times stronger than my original strength. So Master, you are already so strong. Shang Guanyan was extremely shocked. Ye Chen nodded with satisfaction. With Shang Guanyan Huolong's strength like this, he felt much more at ease. Coupled with the Xiaoliu clone outside who has the top level of Bianhua flower, on the Kunpeng universe side, they finally have a certain ability to protect themselves. Yan'er, you can transform into a dragon more often and experience your current power. Then you can break through to the immortal level in a shorter time. Ye Chen smiled. Shang Guanyan changed back, and she nodded repeatedly. The anxiety in her heart was completely gone. If she can be as strong as Ye Chen in the dragon state, she will not be held back. Moreover, she can realize immortal power in the dragon state. She is confident in her breakthrough. Master, can you tell me what's going on outside now? Shang Guan flew. Ye Chen thought for a while and nodded slightly. It's okay to talk to you now. It turns out that if the secret is involved, the possibility of Shang Guanyan being discovered by the master of Xiao Palace is greatly increased. Probably not now. His strength has improved a lot, and the Brahma ring is a treasure of the glazed realm. The clone of Koyanagi who is in the top Higanbana realm is not just a decoration. Yan'er, I'm getting engaged soon. Ye Chen said. Shang Guanyan was stunned. Marvin is engaged. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 382. Master, you have a new person to get engaged to. I shouldn't say anything more, but if the mistress finds out, I'm afraid she will be unhappy. Xuanhuan mustered up his courage and said. Now she was the only one by Ye Chen's side. If she hadn't told Luo Hongjian, she might also be angry. Yan'er, the situation is different from what you think. Ye Chen waved. Xuanhuan sat on his lap. Ye Chen gave a detailed account of the past few months. Xuanhuan was frightened when he heard that Ye Chen almost died at first. Hearing Ye Chen talk about Zi Lanyan, Xuanhuan felt full of sympathy for her. Master, there is nothing to say about Zi Lanyan's moral character. She is still kind-hearted after she has become like that. It's just that when you get married to her, then. Xuanhuan looked at Ye Chen worriedly. Although she sympathized with Zi Lanyan, she cared more about Ye Chen. Ye Chen was forced to get engaged to Zi Lanyan, and they had to get married by then. How would Ye Chen feel? Ye Chen said, I will try my best to help Zi Lanyan recover, and then she will have other choices. Xuanhuan shook his head. Master, if you let her recover, she won't have any other choice. She is probably already in love with you now. How can she fall in love with someone else if you let her recover? Master, whether you let her recover or not, your fate is probably determined. Xuanhuan analyzed. Ye Chen frowned slightly. She is the only daughter of Palace Master Xiao. If she recovers, Palace Master Xiao may not let her marry me. She can have a better choice. Zi Lanyan is so worried now, but if she recovers, she will become extremely popular again. He is extremely talented and has an excellent family background. Zi Lanyan's cultivation is also extremely strong. Boom, boom. At this time, Ye Chen heard the sound of knocking on the door. It should be Zi Lanyan coming. Yan'er, Zi Lanyan is here, practice hard and make a breakthrough soon. Ye Chen kissed Xuanhuan and said. Master, go quickly. Xuanhuan quickly said, Ye Chen is now on someone else's territory. Soon Ye Chen opened the courtyard door. It was indeed Zi Lanyan outside. She has indeed broken through to the realm of immortality, and she looks even uglier. Zi Lanyan has that dog system, and the stronger she becomes, the uglier she will become. Miss Lanyan, congratulations. Ye Chen said with a smile. Zi Lanyan looked at Ye Chen. She knew that she had become uglier, but from Ye Chen's face, Zi Lanyan still didn't find any look of disgust. Ye Chen, what do you want to talk to me about? Zi Lanyan said expectantly. Ye Chen said it was a good thing before. Lanyan. At this moment, Palace Master Xiao arrived, with a slightly complicated look on his face. Zi Lanyan broke through to the realm of immortality and actually came to Ye Chen first. Even though Zi Lanyan is ugly now and she is still his daughter, Palace Master Xiao is still a little bit dissatisfied. Father, I. Zi Lanyan was startled, and she was a little nervous. Palace Master Xiao smiled and said, Lanyan, you have broken through to the realm of immortality, not bad. Your strength continues to improve, and maybe the problem can be solved in the future. Zi Lanyan smiled bitterly in her heart. She has no future. As long as she reaches the realm of glass body, her system will completely swallow her up. Palace Master Xiao. Ye Chen bowed his hands. Father, why are you here? Zi Lanyan asked. The master of Xiao Palace said, Lanyan, I'm here to find Ye Chen. It's only been a month since your engagement, and some people want to meet Ye Chen to check on you. Zi Lanyan sneered and said, Father, it would be great if someone wanted me with my appearance. What else do they have to watch? I think some people have bad intentions. The Xiao Palace is powerful, and the master of the Xiao Palace is also powerful, but on the Kunpeng universe side, there are others who are even more powerful. Of course it's possible that the relationship with Xiao Palace is not very good. In addition, Palace Master Xiao has other relatives, and the relationship between Palace Master Xiao and them is not very good. Palace Master Xiao sighed softly. They asked to see Ye Chen before the engagement. This is a very reasonable request, and it is not easy for a father to refuse forcefully. After all, they are here as guests now. Zi Lanyan frowned secretly. Kunpeng Universe does have such rules. Many guests and relatives have not seen each other for a long time. Normally it is a good thing to ask to meet them before the engagement to help check things together. Miss Lanyan, since there are such rules, I might as well go out and meet you. Ye Chen smiled and said. Based on his current situation, as long as he doesn't encounter Lord Black Dragon, there shouldn't be any problem. The Black Dragon Palace is stronger than the Xiao Palace, and its relationship is not that good. The Dark Palace may send people over, but Lord Black Dragon will definitely not come. Just got engaged in a month. Zi Lanyan is getting married, and there is a slight possibility that Lord Black Dragon will come over. Father, Ye Chen and I are together. Zi Lanyan said. If she were present, the others would be more restrained. Lanyan, are you sure? Palace Master Xiao said hesitantly. He was afraid that Zi Lanyan would be hit and hurt. Even if it was an engagement or marriage, Palace Master Xiao also thought of other ways. Use special materials to make a clone for Zi Lanyan. Zi Lanyan can hide in this clone and control it. Normally this doesn't work. Palace Master Xiao has done this before. Even if extremely good materials are used to create a clone, it will not take long for the clone to develop serious problems and damage. He currently only prepared a clone for Zi Lanyan to use during the engagement. Zi Lanyan said calmly, Father, I'm sure. Ye Chen is very good at playing piano and carving. He is an artist, so quarrels are probably not allowed. If those people go too far, I'm not afraid to quarrel with them. Speaking of this, Zi Lanyan took out the statue Ye Chen gave her. Ye Chen gave me this, and I refined it into my clone. It shouldn't be a problem for it to last for half an hour. In terms of carving, Ye Chen is immortal and uses jade, so this clone is still acceptable. In an instant, Zi Lanyan escaped into the jade sculpture. In the blink of an eye, the jade sculpture transformed into a stunning beauty about 1.7 meters tall. At this moment, Zi Lanyan's appearance was exactly the one carved by Ye Chen. The level of Ye Chen's carving is so good that you can't even tell it's not a real person unless you look carefully. In Zi Lanyan's heart, I am actually an artist. Ye Chen muttered in his heart. No wonder Zi Lanyan thinks so. Ye Chen has not shown any strong fighting ability at all so far, he has only shown his great piano skills and sculpting skills. According to the judgment of Zi Lanyan and Xiao Palace Master, Ye Chen should have a good family background, dislike fighting, and spend most of his time studying art. It is not easy to achieve immortal level piano skills and immortal level carving skills. How can ordinary practitioners spend so much time on such things? Even if a practitioner enters Taoism by playing the harp, he or she is usually very good at playing the harp, but average in other aspects. The art of the harp and sculpture are completely unrelated to each other. Ye Chen, the clone you gave me is pretty good. Although the support time will be relatively short, it is full of charm. Palace Master Xiao said in admiration, Lanyan, in this case, then you should go over and meet me together. The guests have already arrived, and the master of Xiao Palace takes Ye Chen and the others to set off immediately. Not long after, Ye Chen and the others arrived outside a magnificent palace. The palace master has arrived, His Highness Lanyan has arrived. Master Ye has arrived. A loud voice sounded. Many people in the palace looked at the door, and Palace Master Xiao entered first. Ye Chen and Zi Lanyan entered side by side. So beautiful. Has Princess Lanyan recovered? Could it be that this guy Yechen missed it? There were many people in the palace, including many young people. Their eyes lit up when they saw Zi Lanyan. Zi Lanyan's current appearance is very eye-catching. Girl Lanyan is so beautiful, so congratulations. Hey, girl Lanyan, you are not your real body. Why don't you show yourself to others? Are you looking down on us? The speaker was an old man in red robe, and he faintly exuded a powerful aura. This is a strong man in the Xuanhuan realm. Comes from the father's family of the Lord of Xiao Palace. The father's family of the Master of Xiao Palace is very powerful, no less powerful than the current Xiao Palace. Back then, the father of Palace Master Xiao had a quarrel with the family due to some issues. His father left the family and later died while exploring a secret place. Nowadays, the relationship between Xiao Palace and the Zi family is not very good, but they have not completely cut off contact. The Zi family has always hoped to merge Xiao Palace into the Zi family. Palace Master Xiao refused to agree. Snort. Palace Master Xiao snorted coldly. The other party slapped his forehead. Xianza Xiao, I'm sorry, look at my memory, I don't even remember that there is something wrong with Lanyan and it's hard to see people now. When people get old, their memory is bad. Yechen rolled his eyes secretly. A strong man in the Xuanhuan realm said that he had a bad memory. Could he make more nonsense? Is he Yechen? He's just a pretty boy, but his cultivation level is pretty good. The red-robed old man's eyes fell on Yechen. Many other people's eyes also fell on Yechen. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Did. Chapter 383. Boom. A powerful aura burst out from Zi Lanyan. Many people in the hall changed their faces. Zi Lanyan had already reached the realm of immortality. How old is she? Only in her 20s. None of the strong men present, including the master of Xiao Palace, had such strength at her age. Zi Lanyan looked at the red-robed old man with a cold expression. Uncle, I am 23 years old this year. Before I am 40, my strength should not be weaker than yours. You said I can, don't say Yechen, otherwise don't blame me for turning my face against you when my strength increases in the future. Yechen was stunned. He was actually protected. Not to mention, this feeling of being protected seems to be quite good. The red-robed old man looked ugly. Nephew Xiao, is this how you teach your daughter? The red-robed old man said sternly. The master of Xiao Palace said lightly, whoever Lanyan wants to beat or kill, I will definitely help as a father. Zi Lanyan defended Yechen so much that to be honest, the master of Xiao Palace was also a little surprised. Even a little jealous. But he had to support his own daughter. Many people present wanted to ridicule Yechen. Zi Lanyan's words made them hold back their unspoken words. At the age of 23, Zi Lanyan's talent was stronger than her father's. She and the master of Xiao Palace might become Liulai realm masters in the future. Zi Lanyan reached the Xuanhuan realm. Some masters present were not panicked, but they would not be able to bear two Liulai realm masters in the same family. Yechen, marrying an ugly monster home, I wonder what you think. Yechen, according to our information, Zi Lanyan's cultivation level is getting uglier. Now she is probably so ugly that she is out of this world, right? Yechen, you are really hungry. Some guys chose to send a message to Yechen because they did not dare to speak. Yechen said coldly, everyone, those who just sent a message to me, if you have the guts, tell me your names, I can come to you to exchange ideas later. The strong men who just sent a message changed their voices, and it was impossible to tell who was who from their voices. Zi Lanyan said coldly, "Why, you dare not say it openly, and secretly laugh at Ye Chen. Are you still men? If you are a man, stand up openly. Ye Chen is an artist. If you want to quarrel, if you want to fight, come to me." Ye Chen turned his head and looked at Zi Lanyan. In Zi Lanyan's impression, he was really an artist. Ha ha ha. A young man in a black robe laughed. "Artist, a worldly artist who specializes in appreciating ugliness. I don't really appreciate such art." Zi Lanyan looked over coldly. "Chu Xiaotian, although your Black Dragon Palace is stronger than our Purple Sky Palace, your strength is not as good as mine. You'd better be careful when you speak. Otherwise I'll beat you to death." Ye Chen narrowed his eyes. It turned out that this guy was from the Black Dragon Palace. Chu Xiaotian sneered, "Zi Lanyan, although you have broken through to the realm of Changshengju, can you make your mind perfect in your current situation? Can you really reach the realm of Bianhua?" The eyes of some other strong men lit up. Yes. Although Zi Lanyan is improving very fast now, it takes a perfect mind to go from Changshengju to Bianhua, and it should be difficult for Zi Lanyan to achieve a perfect mind in her current situation. In other words, Zi Lanyan may be trapped in the realm of Changshengju for her whole life. He, I was almost scared. Zi Lanyan, Bianhua is probably the other side that you will never reach. Ye Chen, I am one of the people who just sent you a message. I am waiting for you to find me to spar at any time." Several strong men with strong backgrounds spoke. The forces behind them were not very good with Xixiao Palace. "You all, I have remembered them all in my heart. I will find you when the time comes," Zi Lanyan said coldly. In her opinion, she was too ugly and had nothing to give Ye Chen. Perhaps the only thing she can give Ye Chen is protection. Although they haven't been together for a long time, in her heart, Ye Chen's status is already very high, and he is one of the few things she wants to protect with her life. "Everyone, Lanyan will definitely recover. She will definitely reach the level of Bianhua in the future," Ye Chen said firmly. The red-robed old man sneered, "Ye Chen, you are just a red dust immortal, what do you know? Can you solve the problem that the strong men in the Liulai realm can't solve? You don't know what you mean." The master of Xixiao Palace said gloomily, "Everyone, if you continue to talk, I'm afraid I can't help but want to kill people. Lanyan is about to get engaged. I don't want to see blood for the time being. Today's meeting ends here." At this moment, a hidden force fell on Zi Lanyan. In an instant, the clone controlled by Zi Lanyan was broken, and her true body was revealed. Hiss, so ugly. Ugly to the sky. Some people present blurted out. Zi Lanyan's current appearance can no longer be described as ugly. Who did it? The Purple Sky Palace Master was furious. The terrifying power instantly enveloped the entire hall. The Purple Sky Palace Master wanted to kill people. Zi Lanyan's body trembled. She just spoke tough, but she was not so tough inside. "Lanyan, it's okay. You will recover. Although you don't look good now, your soul is beautiful. Some people may look human-like, but their souls are extremely ugly." Ye Chen looked at Zi Lanyan and smiled. "Let's go," Ye Chen said and stretched out his hand towards Zi Lanyan. Zi Lanyan raised her hand a little, but looking at her own hand, she didn't reach out to shake it with Ye Chen. She left the hall in an instant. "Everyone, in order to attack Palace Master Xixiao and destroy Palace Master Xixiao's state of mind, you are really going to any lengths. It's just that using such a method shows that you are afraid of Palace Master Xixiao and also afraid that Lanyan will grow up by then. You are afraid in your hearts. That's it. Do you still want to have a glass body in the future?" Ye Chen said sarcastically. One of the strong men in the Bianganhua realm was shocked. When Ye Chen said this, he felt that his state of mind was collapsing. There will be no problem with the existing Bianhua realm, but if you want to reach the glazed realm in the future, the difficulty will increase more than 10 times. You little beast, I will definitely kill you when the time comes. An extremely cold voice sounded in Ye Chen's mind. The master of Xiao Palace glanced at Ye Chen. In fact, he didn't even think about this, he only focused on his anger. The strong man who took action did not simply want to make Zi Lanyan look bad, but wanted to affect his state of mind. Ye Chen, well done. You leave first to persuade Lan Yin. It's rare for a strong person from the Bianhua realm to come over. I'll have a good discussion with them. The Lord of Xiao Palace said in a deep voice. He didn't know who was responsible, but in this case, the four of them would beat him up together. Ye Chen nodded slightly and left quickly. Don't get too distracted by Zi Lanyan. Soon Ye Chen arrived at Zilan Palace, where Zilanyan was usually listening to the piano. But Ye Chen didn't speak, he played a song first. The cheerful music gradually brought Zi Lanyan back to her senses. Ye Chen, I made you laugh. I also said I would protect you, but I couldn't bear it and ran away first. Not anymore. I will protect you from now on. They think I can't reach the Bianhua realm, but I certainly can. Zi Lanyan said firmly. Although the system is a dog system, the system's ability is still very strong. Zi Lanyan has no doubt that he will reach the Bianhua realm or even the glazed realm in the future. Lanyan, go to where I live and tell you something. Ye Chen smiled. Zi Lanyan nodded, and she felt hopeful again. What on earth was Ye Chen going to tell her? Soon Ye Chen and the others arrived. There is Xiaoliu's clone here, which is at the top of the mutual flower realm. It is much safer to solve Zi Lanyan's problem here. Go. Ye Chen arranged a formation to prevent their voices from reaching the outside world. Although Zilan Palace already has such ability. Ye Chen, what on earth do you want to say? It's so mysterious. Zi Lanyan said curiously, she was not worried at all that Ye Chen would be detrimental to her. Lanyan, there are strong people in our family who have systems, and you should have one too. Ye Chen said. Zi Lanyan was shocked. Having a system was her secret, a secret she never dared to tell. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 384. Host, did you tell Ye Chen about the situation secretly? In Zi Lanyan's mind, the angry voice of her system sounded. Did I say that? Don't you know it yourself? Zi Lanyan said in her mind. Her system was not monitoring her in real time, but it could retrieve her memory. Zi Lanyan's system checked it immediately, but Zi Lanyan didn't say anything. Ye Chen, someone in your family has a system? Zi Lanyan said in disbelief. Ye Chen nodded, yes, someone in our family does have a system. He has it, doesn't his family have it? There is nothing wrong with this. Lanyan, if my guess is correct, it should be your system that made you like this, right? Zi Lanyan didn't say anything, she wanted to cry. Some people said that she had practiced some magic skills to become like this. Some people said that she had done evil things and was cursed by heaven and earth. Anyway, there was nothing good to say. Even the Lord of Xiao Palace didn't understand her at first. She thought that she might have practiced the skills randomly, which led to her going astray. Lanyan, your system has turned you into this, it should be transferable, right? Otherwise, if you find a place to confine yourself for a long time, won't it also be confined with you for a long time? Ye Chen said. Zi Lanyan looked at Ye Chen, what do you mean by asking these questions? Ye Chen took a deep breath and said, you should have heard from your father, right? I used the treasure to randomly teleport to the Kunpeng universe. Something happened at home, I urgently need to improve my strength. There is nothing wrong with this. Luo Hongjian was summoned away, and Ye Chen really needed to improve his strength. However, Zi Lanyan's understanding was not like this. In Zi Lanyan's opinion, the Ye Chen family should have encountered a powerful enemy. Lanyan, your system has turned you into this. It doesn't seem to be a kind system, but as long as it can quickly improve my strength, I want it. By then you should be able to recover and become beautiful, and my strength can also be improved. Ye Chen said in a deep voice. Zi Lanyan said, Ye Chen, if you are in any trouble, I can ask my father to help you. Ye Chen shook his head. How could your father go to other universes? In other universes, his strength will be suppressed a lot, and accidents may happen. Even if there are no accidents, if the delay is too long, Xiao Palace will also have serious problems. Your father will never allow you to go to other universes to help me. Lanyan, for men, strength is the most important, and being ugly doesn't matter. Zi Lanyan hesitated. Of course, she was not reluctant to give up her broken system. But she had suffered so much, did she want Ye Chen to suffer too? Ye Chen, I'm afraid my system may not agree. Ye Chen said in a deep voice, Lanyan, you shouldn't object, right? Zi Lanyan said, Ye Chen, I don't want you to become like me. Ye Chen was silent for a while and said, Lanyan, I don't care about this. Zi Lanyan said, Ye Chen, then you don't plan to come back after you leave. As long as you still want to get married, I won't leave for a long time in the future. Why not come back? Ye Chen said. Zi Lanyan looked very entangled. Ye Chen, it's very painful to become like me. Ye Chen said, Lanyan, you have a good family background and you are a girl. This is the most terrifying thing for you. But for men, there are many more terrifying things than this. Trouble. Talk to your system. Zi Lanyan nodded. System, you should have heard what Ye Chen said, what do you think? Zi Lanyan said in her mind. Zi Lanyan's system laughed strangely, it's okay. You are safe here. If you become his system, he will have to take revenge and may die before he reaches the Liulai realm. Besides, you have already reached the Changshengju realm, while he has only reached the Hongchen realm. Why should I abandon you and recognize him as my master? Zi Lanyan transmitted her voice to Ye Chen and told him the response of her system. Ye Chen, my system can hear you talking. If you have anything to say, you can talk to it directly. Zi Lanyan said. Ye Chen nodded slightly. System, my talent should not be much worse than Lanyan's. If you help me, I may improve faster than Lanyan now. I am a little behind now, but I may not be behind in the future. Lanyan is a girl, and her appearance has a greater impact on her state of mind. In the future, when she breaks through to the Bianhua realm, she will be more or less affected. The impact on me in this regard will be much smaller. Zi Lanyan shook her head slightly, meaning that the system still disagrees. Ye Chen continued, System, only Lanyan knew before, now only she and I know that she has the system. If you disagree, everyone in the Kunpeng universe will know it. I don't know what you will do in the future under this situation. Zi Lanyan said, System, if Ye Chen wants to tell others, I won't stop him. If you leave and become Ye Chen's system, I will keep it secret. Ye Chen will definitely not tell others then. Zi Lanyan's system hesitated. Zi Lanyan owns the system. If this news gets out, it will have a huge impact on Zi Lanyan. The impact on it is equally great. It's not that it's afraid of the other strong ones. Not to mention the powerful ones in the glazed realm, even the immortal level ones. Zi Lanyan's system is not afraid of the other party destroying itself, but there are other systems in the world. Are other systems capable of destroying it? Host, I can also kill you and go directly to the other hosts. Zi Lanyan's system said harshly. Then do it. I'll look down on you if you don't do it. Zi Lanyan sneered in her mind. Ye Chen said at this time, System, I promise you that if you don't have the strength of Bianhua, I will never leave Kunpeng universe and go back to take revenge. How about that? Luo Hanjian is now in the Supreme Universe. If she doesn't even have the strength of the Bianhua flower and goes to the Supreme Universe rashly, she may die before she arrives. In the system, there are probably not many people in the entire Kunpeng universe who are as talented as Ye Chen. Think about it yourself. Agree to transfer, kill me, find another host, or continue to follow me. If the news spreads, many powerful people in Kunpeng universe will know. Zi Lanyan said. Zi Lanyan's system said murderously, Host, if you die, Ye Chen will die too. System, he has already risked his life. I will fight with him. If you want to kill us, do it now. None of us will resist. Zi Lanyan said. Ye Chen looked at Zi Lanyan and said, Lanyan, be prepared. If we die, let your father know the relevant situation immediately. Ask your father to completely seal off this side and not allow anyone to come over. Your system shouldn't be able to escape. Let your father spread the news that there may be other powerful people with systems in Kunpeng universe. Zi Lanyan nodded slightly, Ye Chen, I have made preparations secretly. There is information stored in a jade slip. As long as I die, the news will be spread immediately. Ye Chen, maybe we are going to die, how many more songs will you play for me in the end? Ye Chen smiled and nodded, of course there is no problem with this. Let's play 3 songs. If your system doesn't agree, just tell the message. Zi Lanyan said, okay. Taking out the guqin, the melodious music soon sounded. 10 minutes passed and the 3rd song came to an end. Host, you win. It's okay to find a new host. You're not too active in training. Ye Chen has a grudge. He should be much more active in training than you. Zi Lanyan's system said. The more you practice, the uglier you become. Zi Lanyan is indeed not very active in practice. If it weren't for the threat from the system, it would be impossible for Zi Lanyan to possess the level of immortality. Sounds good. Zi Lanyan did not tell Ye Chen the situation immediately. She finished listening to the 3rd song. Lanyan, just tell me. We keep our word. Ye Chen said. Zi Lanyan said, Ye Chen, my system has agreed to the transfer. Let me ask you one last question, do you really want my parasitic system? Its parasitism can improve your talents, make you stronger faster, and make it much easier to break through the realm, but you will become more and more uglier. At my current level, if I spend a relatively large price, I should be able to recover. If I reach the realm of Higanbana, I may never be able to change again. Ye Chen smiled and said, Lanyan, give me the system, I want this system. And you can tell your father then that we cancel the engagement. Zi Lanyan shook her head, the system can give it to you, but the engagement cannot be cancelled. Otherwise the system won't give it to you. Ye Chen looked at Zi Lanyan, whose attitude was very determined. Good. Ye Chen nodded. Zi Lanyan stretched out her hand and showed a wound. Ye Chen, you also made a wound. Ye Chen immediately opened a wound, and the 2 of them pressed their palms together. Something quickly came out of the wound on Zi Lanyan's palm and entered Ye Chen's body. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Dit. Chapter 385. The thing that entered Ye Chen's body quickly circulated around Ye Chen's body. No special findings were found. At this time, an invisible force entered Ye Chen's body from Zi Lanyan's body. What enters later is the body of the Zillion system. The front is just its tentacles. Although Zi Lanyan's system feels unlikely to have problems, it is cautious by nature. What if Ye Chen owns the system and is stronger than it? After exploring around, He felt relieved. Unless Ye Chen's system is much stronger than it, such detection will definitely lead to discovery. Puff. The system recognized the master, and Zi Lanyan spurted a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground unconscious. The system's derecognition of her master caused considerable damage to her soul. Coma is a form of self-protection. As Zi Lanyan's system was de-identified, her whole body became visibly better looking. Of course, it's still ugly. Zi Lanyan will not be able to recover at once. It takes a lot of time and a lot of resources. This is not a problem for Zi Lanyan, she can recover in the time treasure. Ye Chen, you can bring it to your door yourself. Don't blame me for being rude when the time comes. The system that entered Ye Chen's body immediately prepared to parasitize. At this moment, it felt as if a hyena had encountered a lion and felt an extremely strong death threat. Escape. The system that entered Ye Chen's body immediately wanted to escape back into Zi Lanyan's body, but its escape speed was much slower than the speed at which Ye Chen's own system pounced. Immediately, the power of Ye Chen's system enveloped Zi Lanyan's system. Host, this guy is really ugly. The voice of Ye Chen's own system rang in his mind, and Ye Chen saw the appearance of Zi Lanyan's system. It looked like an ugly bug. System, how does the system compare with the system of the Xuanhuan realm master? Ye Chen asked. He feels that this system should be much stronger. After all, Xuanhuan realm master only has the 9-star heavenly Dao level cultivation, Zi Lanyan is much stronger, and this system has probably swallowed up the others before Zi Lanyan. Of course, the strength of the system cannot be simply calculated this way. For example, his strength is not very strong, but his system is extremely awesome. According to the system itself, it is a top-notch system. Just to deceive Tianji, he sealed a lot of his power. By absorbing the power from other systems, you can unlock some of your own power. It's hard to distinguish between host and system capabilities. Parasitism may not be better than summoning. It's just that this system is fatter. The power it possesses is dozens of times that of the original system. The system said as it quickly devoured the power of this parasitic system. Ye Chen's system was much stronger, and soon the power of this parasitic system was completely swallowed up. Host, spend part of your power to enhance your summoning abilities. The system asks. Nature. Ye Chen said. The system said, Host, then use half of the power to enhance the summoning ability, and the other half to enhance the hiding, detection, and attack abilities. Ye Chen said, the system has an additional attack ability this time. That's right, find the other systems, it will be embarrassing if you can't beat them. Ye Chen nodded slightly. System, are you going to sleep and upgrade again? How long will it take? The system said, Host, if the time is accelerated 20,000 times, it will take half a month. If there is no time treasure to speed up, this upgrade process will be very long. System, hurry up and upgrade. Good. Soon the system began the upgrade process. It's a long story, but in fact, from the time Zi Lanyan fell to the ground, this time was quite short. Ye Chen took action, and a soft force helped Zi Lanyan. Ye Chen, what's going on? The voice of Palace Master Xiao sounded, and he broke through the barrier set by Ye Chen and appeared next to him. Zi Lanyan just vomited blood, and he felt something in his heart. He sent the rest of the people away and delayed a little time. This will see Zi Lanyan comatose, and the face of Palace Master Xiao not looking good. Ye Chen said, Palace Master Xiao, there is a monster parasitic in Miss Lanyan's body. It's that monster that makes Miss Lanyan look uglier and uglier. I happen to have the ability to destroy that monster, and now it has been destroyed by me. Palace Master Xiao's eyes brightened. Ye Chen, what do you mean, Lanyan can recover? Ye Chen smiled and nodded. Palace Master Xiao, Miss Lanyan can indeed recover now. But it will take some time and resources. None of these are problems. Ye Chen, if Lanyan really recovers, you will have done a great job. Palace Master Xiao was extremely happy. As he spoke, a jade bottle appeared in his hand. A lot of light blue liquid poured out of the jade bottle. Every drop of these liquids was very precious. They have the effect of clearing abnormal conditions. Dozens of drops of light blue liquid quickly fell on Zi Lanyan's skin. They entered Zi Lanyan's body through the skin. Palace Master Xiao clearly sensed that Zi Lanyan's condition was improving. In the past, Palace Master Xiao used more of these things and many other good things, but they were useless. It even gets worse. Ye Chen, Lanyan is indeed recovering. You don't have any problems, do you? The Master of Xiao Palace said, his eyes looking at Ye Chen were much kinder, as if his father-in-law looked at his son-in-law. If Zi Lanyan can recover, it will be equivalent to getting a new life. Ye Chen shook his head. Palace Master Xiao, I have no problem. Hey! Zi Lanyan woke up and turned around. Originally, she still needed to be unconscious for a long time, but the light blue liquid she had just absorbed was very effective. Father! Ye Chen, are you okay? Zi Lanyan opened her eyes, and she saw the Master of Xiao Palace shouting. Then he looked at Ye Chen nervously. Ye Chen smiled and said, Miss Lanyan, I have eliminated the monsters in your body. You should be able to recover in 10 days and a half of seclusion. Zi Lanyan looked at Ye Chen with a complicated expression. She didn't think that the system had been eliminated. The parasitic system should have entered Ye Chen's body. Just after being parasitized, Ye Chen's body has not changed much yet. Palace Master Xiao, Miss Lanyan, maybe you can reconsider the engagement. Miss Lanyan has recovered now, and she can find a better one. The Master of Xiao Palace made a move. In Zi Lanyan's situation before, let alone Ye Chen having 5 women, he could barely accept 10 women. Now Zi Lanyan is expected to recover. Palace Master Xiao was a little concerned about this issue. If Ye Chen didn't mention it, he would be embarrassed to mention it, but now Ye Chen took the initiative to bring it up. Father, if you cancel the engagement, I will be alone for the rest of my life. Zi Lanyan said in a deep voice. Palace Master Xiao coughed lightly. Lanyan, of course I will not cancel the engagement. Lanyan, let's not talk about this for now, you should seize the time to recover. Zi Lanyan said, Father, Ye Chen has helped me so much, don't you express your gratitude? Your time treasure of the Bianganhua level is idle even if it is idle. Palace Master Xiao's mouth twitched, he did have such a time treasure. Extremely precious. Lanyan, that's what my father usually uses. The Master of Xiao Palace said. Zi Lanyan said, Father, you have reached the top of the Bana flower realm. What you need now is not how long you need to be in seclusion, but a sudden enlightenment. Father, Ye Chen has helped me so much, don't be stingy. Palace Master Xiao smiled bitterly in her heart, thinking that the daughter would not be allowed to stay. She is not married yet, and her elbows are turned outward. Ye Chen, take it. This treasure can accelerate up to 270,000 times, but the more economical acceleration is less than 100,000 times. Palace Master Xiao gave a treasure like a Rubik's Cube with some distress. 27 squares in total. It represents the 27 spaces inside, and the time acceleration in each space is different. From 10,000 times to 270,000 times. It can accommodate up to 9 strong men practicing inside at the same time. It turns out that the time pagoda that Ye Chen got can accelerate the speed 20,000 times, which is already relatively precious, but compared with this time Rubik's Cube, the difference in value is more than 10 times. It is a treasure of the top Higanbana level. The value is comparable to that of ordinary Liuli realm offensive and defensive treasures. Zi Lanyan said, "Father, I gave you all these things, why don't you give me some time crystals? If you don't give it, I will have to give Yechen part of the time crystal I use for training." Palace Master Xiao rolled his eyes secretly. "Yes, of course. Hurry up and recover." Palace Master Xiao dropped 2 space rings and disappeared. One of the space rings contains many time crystals. Another space ring contains some things Zi Lanyan needs for recovery. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Dit. Chapter 386. Palace Master Xiao said angrily, "Lanyan, are you so impatient? Girls should be more reserved." "Okay, let's talk." After speaking, the master of Xiao Palace moved away in a hurry. More and more guests are coming, and he has to deal with them. But for the time being, Palace Master Xiao does not plan to tell the others that Zi Lanyan has recovered. It's easier to see someone clearly at this time. Zi Lanyan looked at Yechen pitifully. "Yechen, can I see that sister again in 2 days? I'll prepare first." "Good." Yechen nodded. When Xuanhuan meets Zi Lanyan, he still has to talk to Xuanhuan about this. "Yechen, what kind of gift does that sister like?" "Lanyan, this is not necessary." Zi Lanyan said seriously, "Yechen, this is absolutely necessary. I can't leave a bad impression on her. If she doesn't agree, wouldn't it be very difficult for you?" Yechen frowned. Yanner doesn't seem to be lacking anything. "If you must prepare, just prepare some gifts. Then I'll think about it then." Zi Lanyan said a little troubled. Yechen said it was casual, but she didn't want to be casual. "Yechen, I won't tell you any more. I'm going to take a look in my father's treasure house. Maybe I can find something suitable." After Zi Lanyan finished speaking, she hurriedly left. Only then did Yechen have time to have a good chat with his system. "System, how's the upgrade result?" The system said, "Host, naturally everything is going well. The hiding ability, detection ability, and attack ability have all been enhanced a lot. The summoning aspect is now good. Host, summoning will consume power. Currently, you can summon once every half a year. You can summon Enlangsu and the others at one time. As your strength increases, the interval time will become shorter, but if Enlangsu and the others become stronger, the time interval between summons will increase." Enlangsu and the others were in the Tianyang Emperor's Palace, and the front of the Tianyang Emperor's Palace had accelerated 5,000 times. It can become stronger later and accelerate faster. Coupled with the eternal dust over there and Xiaoliu's help, Enlangsu and the others will not be slow to improve. It is entirely possible for them to break through to the immortal level. One for half a year. Yechen muttered in his heart. This speed is okay. He is actually not in a hurry to summon Enlangsu and the 3 of them for the time being. If they reach other higher universes, gain a foothold and can summon, Yechen will definitely seize the time to summon Enlangsu and the others. But he is now in Kunpeng universe. To put it mildly, he is still dependent on others. At this time, Enlangsu and the others were also summoned, and the whole family stayed under someone else's roof. Enlangsu and the others are still very safe in Tianyang dynasty. They don't lack training resources for the time being. Yanner, you and Zi Lanyan will meet in 2 days. When Yechen arrived at the Brahma Ring, he told Xuanhuan the latest situation. "Master, isn't Zi Lanyan beautiful?" Xuanhuan Jiao smiled. "Ahem, not bad." Yechen coughed slightly and said. Xuanhuan asked, "Master, what standard do you think is acceptable?" Ye Chen said, it's almost the same as Hanjian, but Hanjian should have reached the mortal realm now, and her appearance and temperament will definitely improve. Xuanhuan was surprised. Zi Lanyan is actually almost as good as Luo Hanjian. Master, no wonder you can't let it go. I wouldn't let it go if it were me. Xuanhuan Jiao smiled. Ye Chen. Master, please help me think about what kind of gift I should prepare for her. When we first met, she was preparing a gift, so I can't be empty-handed. You think about it yourself, there are a lot of messy things on you anyway. After Ye Chen finished speaking, he disappeared. He arrived next to Xiaoliu's clone. Xiao Xiaoliu, spread this news. Good master. Once the news is delivered, Xiaoliu's clone will be weak for a period of time. Although it was possible to spread the news before, Ye Chen did not do so. At that time, Ye Chen's position here was unstable. Palace Master Xiao might kill him whenever she doesn't like him. Now that Palace Master Xiao dares to do this, Zi Lanyan will probably die in front of him. July Universe, the world of saints and demons. In Fengming Palace, the eternal world tree swayed gently. It received information from its own alter ego. Mothers, please come over here. News came out from the eternal world tree. En Langxiu, Lu Qianqian, Luo Yudi, and the others arrived in Fengming Palace and next to the eternal world tree. Several mistresses, the master has sent back the news that they have arrived in Kunpeng Universe, and they already have the ability to summon you to the past. But it's not convenient to summon you at the moment. En Langxiu and the others frowned. Ye Chen and the others actually arrived in Kunpeng Universe. There are 2,000 advanced universes in Sea Area 13, why are they so unlucky? They know that the Black Dragon Palace is in the Kunpeng Universe. No more. Luo Yudi said. The Eternal World Tree said, yes, no more. Ye Chen came here to report that he was safe, so as not to worry Luo Yudi and the others, otherwise they would definitely have to worry about whether Ye Chen and the others had failed to transmit. When it came to Kunpeng Universe, Ye Chen actually didn't plan to talk about it at first. But if they lose contact in some unexpected situation, Luo Yudi and the others don't know where to look. As for the issue with Zi Lanyan, I can't explain it in a few words. Sending the message consumes a lot of energy. Sending less information will consume less energy for Xiaoliu's clone. Is that all the news? The Black Dragon Palace is in Kunpeng Universe. My brother-in-law will not be in danger, right? Luo Yudi was a little worried. Eternal World Tree said, 3 mistresses, there is actually another news. The master has made my clone over there. My clone has the strength of the top Higanhua realm. Call. Luo Yudi and the others breathed a long sigh of relief. They know the realm of immortality. Although the strength of the top Bianhua level is weaker than that of Lord Black Dragon, it is already extremely strong. Ye Chen is much safer with him. Xiao Lu, your additional information is the most important news. En Langxiu complained. That is. Luo Yudi laughed and said, since my brother-in-law has this with him, it should be relatively safe for the time being. My brother-in-law also has the ability to summon us. Then let's practice peacefully. En Langxiu and Lu Qianqian nodded. Lu Qianqian said, Xiao Lu, can you send a message to your clone? Okay. Lu Qianqian and the others quickly discussed it. Luo Yudi said, Xiao Lu, please spread the word that everything is fine with us. The power of faith of the people of the Tianyan dynasty is still transmitted to the void. Sister Hanjian should be fine too. On Ye Chen's side, he waited for about a quarter of an hour. Master, I have sent back the news that everything is fine over there, but the power of faith is still disappearing as before. Ye Chen secretly breathed a sigh of relief. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. Zi Lanyan prepared gifts and arrived at Ye Chen's side. Yeah, Ye Chen, please let that sister go outside. I'm ready. Zi Lanyan said nervously, her heartbeat speeding up a lot. In the Brahma ring, Xuanhuan was also nervous. Ye Chen nodded, and with a thought, Xuanhuan was outside in an instant. The two women meet. Xuanhuan's eyes lit up. Zi Lanyan was really beautiful. It is indeed on par with Luo Hanjian. Hello sister, I am Zi Lanyan. When we first met, this is a little bit of my thoughts. Zi Lanyan said. She gave a gift box as she spoke. Inside the gift box is an ever-changing treasure dress, a top-notch defensive treasure of immortality. Zi Lanyan was really confused about choosing treasures. If the item is bad, he is afraid that Xuanhuan will be dissatisfied, but if the item is too good, he is afraid that his gift will be too strong. Lanyan, this is my gift to you. It's not as good as what you gave me, don't mind. Xuanhuan also gave gifts, and the gifts she gave were also at the level of immortality, but she knew that Zi Lanyan already had the level of cultivation at the level of immortality. No, no. I like my sister's gift very much. Zi Lanyan said quickly, her expression was still quite nervous. Xuanhuan smiled and said, Lanyan, actually you don't have to call me sister. If you join our big family, we will only have one sister. She's not here now. My name is Xuanhuan. Just call me Yanner like my master. Owner. Zi Lanyan said doubtfully. Xuanhuan said, Lanyan, there are 5 of us. Mistress Luo Hanjian is the first to follow the master. The relationship between the master and the mistress is excellent. The remaining 4 of us, one of whom is the mistress' sister, the other 3 turned out to be just the master's maids. But the master treats us equally, and the mistress treats us very well. Zi Lanyan nodded slightly, then let me call you Sister Yanner. Sister Yanner, can I take you around my Zilan palace? Okay. Xuanhuan smiled and nodded. Zi Lanyan took the initiative to hold Xuanhuan's hand and left, leaving Ye Chen alone. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 387. Zi Lanyan took Xuanhuan to the garden of Zilan Palace, and the two sat down. Sister Yanner, your mistress, is she really a good person to talk to? Zi Lanyan asked nervously. Having just come here, she already knew that Xuanhuan was easier to talk to. Xuanhuan nodded, as long as we don't make principled mistakes, mistress is easy to talk to. In my impression, mistress has never criticized us. The master is also very talkative and treats us very well. But there is one thing you should pay attention to, master. Don't even think about competing with your mistress for favor. Zi Lanyan said with some confusion, listen to what you said. Ye Chen likes your mistress very much, so why did he come to you after your mistress? Xuanhuan whispered, except for being a little flirtatious, the master is good at everything else. The master didn't take the initiative to find us, it was arranged by the mistress. Satisfy the master's little desire. Zi Lanyan was startled. Your mistress must love Ye Chen very deeply. Xuanhuan nodded repeatedly, master also loves mistress very deeply. If mistress does not agree, even if master has some ideas in his mind, he probably will not come to us. Sister Lanyan, although your family background is very good, you really have to remember this and never try to usurp the mistress's position in the heart of the master. Otherwise, you will definitely lose. Zi Lanyan nodded lightly, I am a latecomer, and it is enough for Ye Chen to have a small place for me in his heart. Xuanhuan said with a smile, Sister Lanyan, among the 5 of us, I am the 5th child. Facts have proved that I, the 5th child, get a lot of affection from my master. If you join, you will be the 6th one. Only. Zi Lanyan's heart tightened. Just what? Xuanhuan said, the mistress said before that I would be the last one, and the master is not allowed to find any more sisters for us. Ah! Zi Lanyan's expression changed. Xuanhuan said, Sister Lanyan, don't worry too much. Didn't the master agree? Come to the mistress, I will help you put in a good word in the future. This is a special situation for you. If the mistress knows about it, she won't say anything. Zi Lanyan frowned secretly. My father forced Ye Chen to marry me before. Maybe this will be a thorn in the mistress's heart. Even if Ye Chen married me before, the mistress may have opinions about me in the future. Zi Lanyan thought to himself. She felt this was a principled error. However, Zi Lanyan was overthinking this. If Ye Chen really married him now, the pot would also belong to Palace Master Xiao, and Luo Hongjian would not be angry with her for this. Sister Yan'er, when can your mistress and the others come over? Zi Lanyan asked. Xuanhuan thought for a while and realized that it was not convenient to tell Luo Hongjian's situation. Before you get married to the master. Xuanhuan flew. Zi Lanyan took a deep breath and said, then let me tell my father that the engagement is cancelled. After 2.5 years of no engagement, I will marry Ye Chen directly. Are you sure? Xuanhuan said in surprise. Zi Lanyan nodded, I hope to marry Ye Chen and truly integrate into your big family. I don't want to be excluded by the time. My mistress and 3 other sisters are not here now, and my father forced Ye Chen to marry me before. I don't think it's appropriate to get engaged at this time. Xuanhuan said, if you can get your father to agree, this should be much better. Father will agree. He is just a daughter like me, he. Zi Lanyan smiled sweetly. Soon Zi Lanyan went to find her father. As soon as the matter was mentioned, Palace Master Xiao frowned tightly. Lanyan, basically all the guests have arrived. Are you announcing the cancellation of the engagement at this time? Zi Lanyan said coquettishly, Father, which one is more important, is their feelings or the daughter's happiness? Besides, if Ye Chen can give you the elixir of the glazed realm, the power behind him should not be simple. It's really not good for you to force him to marry me before. Father, we are getting engaged now and the other sisters don't know about it. How can they not have any objections in their hearts? Father, do you just hope that I will get married and don't care at all whether I will live well after I get married? Palace Master Xiao smiled bitterly. You've said that, what else can you say as a father? Save such an old face for your father, let's talk to the guests who come over. Lanyan, if you don't decide now, if Ye Chen doesn't marry you then, don't cry. Zi Lanyan snorted, if he doesn't marry me, I will cry. I will pester him to cry every day. Palace Master Xiao looked at Zi Lanyan lovingly. Zi Lanyan's personality gradually recovered, she could act coquettishly and act like a girl. In the past, Zi Lanyan always locked herself in Zi Lan Palace and never saw outsiders at all. As a father, he wanted to see her before, but he might not be able to see her 3 times. Lanyan, if he doesn't want to marry you, then it would be a good idea for you to marry someone else. My daughter is so good, it's his loss if he doesn't marry her. The master of Xiao Palace said. He felt that Ye Chen would not refuse, Zi Lanyan was so good looking now. Father, I'm sorry for causing you trouble again. Zi Lanyan said. Xiao Palace waved his hand, it's no trouble. You're right. Their feelings are not as important as your happiness. Tell Ye Chen yourself. He, Father, thank you. Zi Lanyan left happily. Palace Master Xiao had a smile on her face. He felt very contented when he could see Zi Lanyan's happy smile. If you reject them, I will practice in seclusion and strive to reach the Liulai realm before Lanyan gets married. Palace Master Xiao thought secretly. Zi Lanyan recovered and resolved the knot in his heart. Coupled with his own strength and the glass-level breaking pill, he estimated that he should have a half chance of breaking through. This is already a very high probability. Zi Lanyan quickly came to Xuanhuan again. Sister Yan'er, it's successful. Father agreed. Thank you for telling me these things. If Xuanhuan hadn't said anything, Zi Lanyan would have probably gotten engaged to Ye Chen. You're welcome. We will be a family from now on. Xuanhuan smiled. Soon Zi Lanyan and Xuanhuan approached Ye Chen together. Zi Lanyan explained the situation to Ye Chen. Ye Chen, if we don't get engaged, we will get married directly in 2.5 years. You won't stop marrying me then, right? Zi Lanyan said weakly. Ye Chen looked at Zi Lanyan. Zi Lanyan actually listened to what Xuanhuan said and went to her father to cancel the upcoming engagement. It shows that she really wants to be with him. With Zi Lanyan's status, it is quite rare. Now that she has recovered, what kind of wealthy young man is she looking for but can't find? Lanyan, you will know when you look in the mirror. Ye Chen smiled. Look in the mirror. Zi Lanyan took out the mirror a little stupidly. She looked at herself in the mirror, her eyes full of doubts. Sister Lanyan, Master, look at how beautiful you are in the mirror. How could Master be reluctant to marry you? Don't worry. Xuanhuan Jiao smiled. Zi Lanyan's pretty face turned red. Ye Chen, you are such a bad guy. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 388. Xuanhuan chuckled and said, Sister Lanyan, you are so cute. Although Zi Lanyan has the level of immortality, she is actually very simple. She got the system when she was 16 or 17 years old. She almost never left Zilan Palace and had little contact with outsiders. She spent most of her time practicing. In the past 10 years, she actually spent a lot of time practicing. Sister Yan'er, you laugh at me too. Zi Lan said in a dull voice. Sister Lanyan, I am praising you. I think you're cute. Xuanhuan Jiao smiled and said, Master, look at Sister Lanyan's face, do you have the urge to pinch it? Indeed. Ye Chen smiled. But he didn't do that. Even if you are already engaged, it is inappropriate to do this before getting married. Ignore you, I'm going to practice. Zi Lanyan said with a blushing face, and she disappeared in an instant. Ye Chen let Xuanhuan enter the Brahma ring, and he also entered it. A big war breaks out immediately. 2 hours later, Xuanhuan begged for mercy. Without the help of Luo Hongjian and the others, she still couldn't beat Ye Chen on her own. Yan'er, you did a good job today. After the battle, Ye Chen hugged Xuanhuan Dao. Xuanhuan Jiao smiled and said, Master, I'm not stupid. It's inappropriate for you to propose to cancel the engagement, and it's inappropriate for me to propose to cancel it. Lanyan can only propose it herself. It turns out that she is indeed worthy of marrying, Master. Luo Hongjian is not here, and neither are Langxiu and the others. Their own strength has not improved yet, and they are still dependent on others. Ye Chen actually doesn't really want to get engaged now. But if he brings it up, Zi Lanyan and Palace Master Xiao will feel uncomfortable. He even told Zi Lanyan some things about Luo Hongjian and the others, implying that Zi Lanyan was not good either. It's okay for Xuanhuan to talk to Zi Lanyan as sisters. She is indeed a good girl. Ye Chen nodded slightly. Hongjian probably won't object to her, but Hongjian may ignore me for a few days, and you have to speak up for me then. Giggle. Xuanhuan Jiao laughed out loud. There is nothing wrong with Ye Chen's worries. Luo Hongjian will definitely not look down on Zi Lanyan, she is not such a person, but Ye Chen has gotten an advantage, and Luo Hongjian will definitely have to teach him a lesson. You're still smiling. It seems you don't know how powerful you are. Ye Chen hummed. Master, I was wrong. Xuanhuan said weakly. In less than a month, the engagement was cancelled. What the hell? Is it because Xuanhuan is so ugly that Ye Chen would rather die than surrender? Xuanhuan is indeed so ugly. When I was there that day, she almost made her cry. The engagement will be cancelled and we will get married directly. Maybe the marriage will also be cancelled. The master of Xiao Palace spread the news. He came to apologize to some high-status guests one by one. Much news spread. Here in Xiao City, many people didn't dare to say anything, but when the news spread to other places, all kinds of messy words came out. Xuanhuan has recovered, and she will not take the initiative to announce this news. The master of Xiao Palace did not tell anyone, and even deliberately blocked the news. Knowing Xuanhuan's situation, the strong men from other major forces felt more at ease. Palace Master Xiao is just a child like her. With her appearance, Palace Master Xiao's training will definitely be affected, and it will be much more difficult to break through to the glazed realm. If it is known that Xuanhuan has recovered, maybe the other forces will cause trouble again. With Xuanhuan turning into what she is today, Palace Master Xiao actually suspected that other forces were responsible. Xuanhuan herself had the same suspicion. Before the system recognized the Lord, she attended a party. That gathering was attended by many geniuses from top forces, some of whom were from Liuli level forces. Later, Xuanhuan also recalled that she actually didn't want to attend that party at all. It was a sister she knew who kept encouraging her to attend. The power behind her sister is also quite strong, not much weaker than the current Xiao Palace. Later, she married into Tiandao sect, a Liuli level force. Xuanhuan had wondered whether the attack on her might be related to one of her sisters. But there was no evidence, and she never told anyone else. 2 or 3 months passed unknowingly. Inside the time cube. Boom. A powerful aura erupted from Ye Chen's body, and his cultivation reached the realm of immortality. Originally, it would take Ye Chen about a year and a half to reach the ultimate realm of immortality and obtain the time cube with a 20,000-fold time acceleration. However, he practiced under a 100,000-fold time acceleration. The training speed is naturally much faster. Finally reached the ultimate state of immortality. As your cultivation level increases, the quality of the things you draw should also improve. Ye Chen had a smile on his face. 3 or 4 months ago, Ye Chen's combat power reached the realm of immortality. Now that his strength has been raised to the realm of immortality, his combat power has naturally improved a lot. But it's still the ultimate realm of immortality. There are still a few days left before you can sign in. These days are just a good time to consolidate your cultivation. Ye Chen muttered in his heart. A few days passed quickly. With time accelerating 100,000 times, Ye Chen has naturally consolidated his cultivation. System, sign in 3 times. Ye Chen said in his mind. The treasures signed in the previous 2 months were not bad, but Ye Chen was not particularly satisfied. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the sign-in point expansion card, which can be used at any sign-in point, and can expand the sign-in point to a radius of 100,000 kilometers. The system said. Ye Chen's eyes lit up. Good stuff. Although this is not a specific treasure, it is the basis for obtaining other good things. Ye Chen felt that the treasure he signed in was not very good, which may be related to this. For him now, the sign-in point with a radius of 10,000 kilometers is too small. The accumulated luck is not enough. System, use this first. 4th sign-in point expansion. Used. The system said, and Ye Chen immediately felt that the speed of obtaining luck was greatly improved. The luck that the sign-in point can accommodate has also increased a lot. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an immortal level mansion, level Liuli realm. Ye Chen's eyes lit up. Good stuff again. This month's luck seems good. With a mansion of this level, he will not be without a place to live when he marries Zi Lanyan. Xiao Palace is formed by palaces formed by many treasures, including 3 palaces of the level of the other shoreflower. But the value of the entire Xiao Palace is just comparable to that of an ordinary Liuli realm mansion. A lot of information poured into Ye Chen's mind. A smile appeared on his face. His immortal level mansion is not only Liuli realm level, but also top Liuli realm level. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the immortal level enhancement card, level Liuli realm. Ye Chen's eyes immediately fell on Xiao Liu's clone. Needless to say, he will definitely enhance this. System, enhance Xiao Liu's clone. Enhanced. Xiao Liu's clone shook its branches happily, and its strength reached the level of Liuli realm. Ye Chen got some information. Xiao Liu's clone did not reach the top level of Liuli realm. But its current strength is not the weakest in Liuli realm, it belongs to the middle level. Ye Chen was already very satisfied. After the upgrade, Xiao Liu's clone's strength was 4 or 5 times the original strength. The top Liuli realm strongman is about 10 times the original strength of Xiao Liu's clone. In the entire Kunpeng universe, there are only a few Liuli realm strongmen. Some are even weaker than Xiao Liu's clone. Ye Chen estimated that Xiao Liu's clone's current strength can be ranked in the top 5, and is definitely a top master. Ye Chen, you haven't practiced. I was just about to send you a message. Zi Lanyan came to Ye Chen. She hadn't listened to the piano for the past 2 or 3 months. She wanted Ye Chen to spend more time practicing. Lanyan, what's the matter? Ye Chen asked. Zi Lanyan didn't seem to come here to listen to the piano. She seemed to have something to do. Zi Lanyan said hesitantly, Ye Chen, I have a friend who came to see me. We used to have a good relationship, but we haven't seen each other in the past few years. I have some doubts about her. Can you help me analyze it? I dare not tell my father, for fear that he will mess around if he knows. Ye Chen nodded, of course there is no problem. I will help you analyze it. Zi Lanyan quickly said that the friend she was talking about was the one who invited her to the banquet. Ye Chen, do you think she has any problems? Or am I being petty? Zi Lanyan said tangledly. Ye Chen's eyes flashed, Lanyan, based on my experience, your friend is 99% likely to have problems. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Dit. Chapter 389. Zi Lanyan said in embarrassment, Ye Chen, the other party came to find me, then can I see her? Ye Chen shook his head, Lanyan, I suggest you don't see her for the time being. Your father should have used the breaking realm pill to break through in cultivation. Let her know that you have resumed spreading the news, it may have a bad impact. Well, let me see her on your behalf. You come and stay inside my space treasure. Zi Lanyan nodded slightly, you can meet her on my behalf. The other party came to visit. Zi Lanyan would not feel good if he was just dismissed by a servant. Ye Chen will marry her in the future and become a family. Ye Chen said, then you ask someone to bring her over. You won't come out to see her, but you can chat with her through a message. Be careful not to let her notice anything unusual. Zi Lanyan entered the Brahma ring. This was Zi Lanyan's first time entering the Brahma ring, and she was a little surprised. The level of the Brahma ring seems to be quite high. Zi Lanyan feels that the Burning Sky ring is at least a Bianhu level treasure. Ye Chen arrived at the door of Zilan Palace. A woman in yellow was quickly brought here by the chamberlain of Xiao Palace. Miss Han, nice to meet you. Ye Chen cupped his hands and said. The woman in yellow is called Han Qingling, the daughter of the Han family. Now she is married into Tiandao sect. She didn't have the level of cultivation of the Red Dust Immortal before. Ye Chen could tell that she must have made a breakthrough recently. Han Qingling returned the greeting and said, Your name is Ye Chen, right? Where is Lan Yin? Ye Chen said, Miss Han, please come inside, let's talk while walking. Good. Ye Chen and the others entered Zilan Palace. Han Qingling's eyes flickered, and she noticed that there was still no maid in Zilan Palace. Miss Han, you should already know a lot about Lan Yin's situation. You and Lan Yin are friends. I wonder if you can help persuade her. She doesn't see anyone now. Even if her father comes over, it's not easy to see her. Ye Chen looked a little expectant. Han Qingling said with emotion, Lan Yin is so good, I didn't expect something like this to happen to her. It's really sad. I heard that she has reached the ultimate level of immortality. I wonder if she is better now. Ye Chen sighed slightly. Han Qingling said, I have been practicing in seclusion for the past 2 years, sprinting towards the immortal level. Now that I have finally reached the mortal realm, I quickly came over to visit her. Ye Chen, please talk to her and let her meet me. No matter what she becomes, we will still be best friends. Faintly, Han Qingling showed a hint of pleasure. If she were in front of Zi Lanyan, Zi Lanyan would definitely not be able to notice it, but now she is in front of Ye Chen, who has much more experience than her. Ye Chen is also much stronger than her. Lanyan, I can confirm for the time being that Han Qingling will be gloating about your misfortune. Ye Chen sent a message to Zi Lanyan. Zi Lanyan felt bitter in her heart. She had a high status and few friends. Han Qingling was indeed her best friend before, otherwise she would not have agreed to the invitation. Marvin, since I don't want to talk to her like this, I'm afraid I won't be able to help scolding her. Zi Lanyan said via voice transmission. Ye Chen looked at Han Qingling and said, Miss Han, Lanyan doesn't want to see anyone now. Miss Han, there is something I want to ask of you. You say. Han Qingling said a little disappointed. Zi Lanyan used to be much prettier than her. As her cultivation improved, her appearance improved. Zi Lanyan turned into an ugly monster. She would really like to see Zi Lanyan now. Ye Chen pondered, Miss Han, do you still remember that party a few years ago? You invited Lanyan over, but something happened soon after. Lanyan told me that she suspected that someone was playing tricks on her at that party. A trace of panic flashed in Han Qingling's eyes. At the same time, Xiaoliu's clone was keenly aware of any abnormal reactions in Han Qingling's body. There is definitely something wrong with Han Qingling. Zi Lanyan's system parasitic on her body is definitely related to that party. Ye Chen, actually I also suspect that there was something wrong with that party. Han Qingling smiled bitterly and said, that's why I haven't come to see Lanyan very often in the past few years. It's because I feel sorry for Lanyan. If I didn't ask her to come over Ye Chen said, Miss Han, Lanyan doesn't blame you, she believes in you. Someone should have affected the training of Palace Master Xiao by hurting her. Palace Master Xiao is currently focusing on how to recover Lanyan and has no time or energy to find the murderer. I would like to trouble you to find the murderer. Han Qingling nodded, even if you don't tell me about this matter, I will investigate it. Ye Chen, since Lanyan doesn't want to see anyone, I'll leave first. Tell her we will always be friends. I will try my best to find the murderer. Ye Chen nodded, okay, Miss Han, you have also seen that there are no maids here, so I won't keep you any longer to avoid gossip. Goodbye. Han Qingling left quickly. Ye Chen didn't do anything to her. Now is not a good time to seek revenge on her. The strength of the Han family is very strong, not much weaker than that of Xiao Palace. What's more important is that Han Qingling is now married to the grandson of the leader of the Tiandao sect. The leader of Tiandao sect likes this little grandson very much. He has good talent. In the future, he has at least a 30% chance of becoming the next leader of Tiandao sect. Tiandao sect is a Liuli level force. It is stronger than the Black Dragon Palace. Lan Yin, it is basically certain that you had a problem at that party. Han Qingling knows the details. She is likely one of the planners. Ye Chen said after entering the Brahma ring. Zi Lan Yin smiled bitterly. I really regarded her as a good friend. I didn't expect that she would harm me. I didn't expect that she would marry Su Zhongting. Su Zhongting. Ye Chen was puzzled. Zi Lanyan said, Su Zhongting is the grandson of Su Gudao, the leader of Tiandao section. He has great hope of becoming the young leader of Tiandao section. He pursued me before. But his purpose was to get my father's support through me. I didn't like it and rejected him. I talked to Han Qingling about this. She said she supported my decision very much at that time. I didn't expect that she would marry into Tiandao sect and Su Zhongting later. Zi Lanyan smiled bitterly. She was not stupid. At this point, she certainly knew that her sister did not regard her as a real good sister. Ye Chen said, I feel that Han Qingling is jealous of you because you are better than her in every aspect. The strength of Xiao Palace is stronger. Your father has only you as his daughter and dotes on you. Your cultivation talent is higher than hers, and you are also more beautiful. It is likely that you rejected Su Zhongting, so she secretly contacted Su Zhongting. The strength of the Han family is also very strong, so Su Zhongting accepted her. Maybe Su Zhongting also put forward conditions. Zi Lanyan nodded gently. She knew that Su Zhongting was not a very generous person. Being rejected by her, Su Zhongting was embarrassed, so it was normal for him to act secretly. Ye Chen, thank you for you. Zi Lanyan looked at Ye Chen and said gratefully. If it weren't for Ye Chen, she couldn't recover herself, and it would be very difficult for her father to break through. Lanyan, then won't you give me a big hug? Ye Chen said with a smile. Zi Lanyan blushed and whispered, yeah, Ye Chen, we can hug each other after we get married. You can hug me as long as you want. Okay. Ye Chen smiled and nodded. He was just teasing Zi Lanyan on purpose. To prevent her from being sad for too long because of Han Qingling. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 390. Han Qingling left Xiao Palace and returned to Tiandao sect in 2 months. Have you seen that ugly Zi Lanyan? Su Zhongting hugged Han Qingling and said. Han Qingling is not much different from the original Zi Lanyan in terms of appearance. Zhongting, I didn't see Zi Lanyan. She is too embarrassed to see anyone. I only saw Ye Chen in Xiao Palace. There is no maid in Xiao Palace. Han Qingling said. Su Zhongting said indifferently, I told you long ago that you don't need to go. What did Ye Chen say when you met him? Han Qingling said with a smile, Ye Chen said that Zi Lanyan suspected that she appeared at that party. It's ridiculous that the master of Xiao Palace spent his energy on how to make Zi Lanyan recover and asked me to help find a murderer behind the scenes. Su Zhongting frowned and said, do they suspect you? Han Qingling said indifferently, Zhongting, I have thought about this, but it doesn't matter. Don't say that they have no evidence. Even if they have evidence, what can they do? Su Zhongting nodded slightly. What you said makes sense. After all, it depends on strength. Zi Lanyan didn't recognize this at the beginning. Su Zhongting said indifferently. Zhongting, you are not still thinking about her, are you? She is so ugly now that it can scare people to death. Han Qingling frowned. Su Zhongting smiled and said, of course not, you said she's so ugly. only a loser like Ye Chen can eat someone like her, haha. Han Qingling smiled and said, as long as Ye Chen has a choice, I'm afraid he won't choose Zi Lanyan. Zhongting, when Zi Lanyan gets married, you'll go too, right? I have a plan. Time passed slowly, and before I knew it, a year and a half had passed. There was only a short year left before Ye Chen and Zi Lanyan got married. During this year and a half, sometimes Ye Chen signed in things weren't very good, but most of the time they were good. Occasionally there would be quite good surprises. Ye Chen also signed in for immortal level treasures. The glazed realm mansion he had signed in to obtain had been upgraded to the immortal level. The Brahma ring had been upgraded to the immortal level. The rest of the immortal level treasures were gone. In a year and a half, with dozens of sign-ins, it was already very good to get 2 immortal level rewards. The 2 immortal level rewards were both strengthening tokens. Ye Chen originally wanted to strengthen Xiao Liu's clone, but the limit of Xiao Liu's clone was only the glazed realm. It is worth mentioning that even if the Brahma ring and the mansion reached the immortal level, they could only exert the top immortal level strength in the Kunpeng universe. The Kunpeng universe is only a high-level universe, and the limit of heaven and earth is only at this level. I've been away for 2 years. There is only 1 year left before Lan Yin and I get married, so I have to let An Lan and the others come here. But before that, I have to leave Zi Lan Palace first. Ye Chen said in his heart. Not to mention that he has not married Zi Lan Yin yet. Even if he gets married, it is not appropriate to summon An Langxiu and the others to live under someone else's roof. Although Zi Lan Yin would not think so, An Langxiu and the others might be uncomfortable. Lan Yin, stop practicing for a while, I have something to tell you. Ye Chen sent a voice message to Zi Lan Yin. Zi Lan Yin quickly finished her practice. She was practicing in the time cube. In this year and a half, Ye Chen and his friends have enjoyed time acceleration of more than 100,000 times. The time cube can accelerate up to 270,000 times. But it consumes too many resources. There is only a one-fold difference between 100,000 times and 200,000 times, but the resources consumed are several times more. Even if Ye Chen signed in and got a time crystal gift package, even if the Purple Sky Palace Master gave him a lot of time crystals, Ye Chen and his friends couldn't be so wasteful. 100,000 times, the training is much faster. Ye Chen can barely accept the extra resources consumed. Of course, if he gets an immortal level time crystal gift package in the future, or finds a powerful time crystal vein, 200,000 times acceleration will be no problem. Ye Chen, what's the matter? Zi Lanyan quickly came to Ye Chen. In a year and a half, with the time acceleration of more than 100,000 times, Zi Lanyan is equivalent to practicing for more than 200,000 years, and Ye Chen also gave her the rest of the resources. She has made great progress. However, Ye Chen and his friends are still only at the realm of immortality. To reach the immortal level, each realm takes a lot of time. Ye Chen is still a little short of the peak of Changshenju, and Zi Lanyan is even further away. However, there is still a year before the wedding. Zi Lanyan should have no problem reaching the peak of Changshenju by then, and Ye Chen is expected to reach the Bianhua realm. Ye Chen is practicing on the AFK, and his skills are still immortal. Although he reached the Changshenju realm later, Ye Chen has improved more than Zi Lanyan in the past year and a half. It will be easier for Ye Chen to break through to the Bianhua realm. Lanyan, I want to move to one of the sacred mountains outside the Xiao Palace. Ye Chen said. The Xiao Palace covers a large area, and some areas outside are not well developed. Some sacred mountains are not bad either. That place is also within the sign-in range. Zi Lanyan's face changed. Ye Chen, isn't my Zi Lan Palace bad? Ye Chen smiled slightly and said, Lanyan, it's not that Zi Lan Palace is bad, we only have 1 year to get married, I have to summon An Lan and the others. It's not appropriate for Lan and the others to come and stay in your Lan palace together. Besides, do you want to return to Zilan palace after getting married? Others are not allowed to say that I am a soft-hearted person. Lanyan nodded lightly, that's true. Some people are gossiping and they will definitely criticize you. Ye Chen, after moving, did you summon the sisters here? Ye Chen nodded. In the past, Xiaoliu's clones could only summon one every half a year. Now, the strength of Xiaoliu's clones has been greatly enhanced, and it is no problem to summon them all at once. But for safety reasons, Ye Chen planned to summon them one by one. One person per month. In this way, it only takes 3 months to summon Enlangxiu and the others. Enlangxiu and the others will still have enough time to adapt to the environment when they arrive. Their strength can be improved a lot by then. Ye Chen, then I'll stay in your treasure space, and you go out and choose a spiritual mountain. Lanyan said. Palace Master Xiao cannot be contacted at the moment. In addition, such a thing is not a big deal, Lanyan can completely decide. Soon, with a token given by Lanyan, Ye Chen arrived at the east side of Xiao Palace smoothly. There are many huge spiritual mountains here. The short ones are basically 10,000 meters high, and the tall ones have peaks exceeding 100,000 meters. These spiritual mountains are basically moved from other places. Every scenery is very nice. That's it? Ye Chen chose a 100,000 meter high spiritual mountain. Okay, Lord Ye Chen, I will register it for you now. This spiritual mountain will be yours from now on. Even His Majesty will not trespass on your spiritual mountain casually. An old man in green robes following Ye Chen said. These things are managed by dedicated personnel inside Xiao Palace. Ye Chen entered Lingshan, and the entire Lingshan was quickly enveloped in a light mist. Come out. Ye Chen released the mansion inside Burning Sky Ring. The mansion now looks like Tianyang Emperor's palace. The area occupied is not very large, much smaller than that of Zilan Palace. But the level of this mansion is immortal level. The value is at least 100 times that of the entire Xiao Palace. Ye Chen, are you going to summon the beauty mistress and the others? I'm nervous. Lanyan said weakly. If she didn't care, she wouldn't be nervous at all, but now she cares very much about Ye Chen. What if Luo Hongjian disagrees? Lanyan, Hongjian is not in my original world for the time being. I won't call her here this time. I will call Lan and the rest of them, one person every month. Ye Chen said. Lanyan breathed a sigh of relief. Still quite nervous though. What if Enlangxiu and the others are not as easy to talk to as Shang Guanyan?